Ladies and gentlemen, hey, it's Jesse from the original Fast and the Furious, and you're listening to Granny Shifting, the Fast and Furious podcast.
All right.
Welcome back to Granny Shifting. I'm Ryan.
Now I'm Jason.
And this is minute 67. Oh.
Oh,
and
boy.
we got shots coming?
Bizarre shot time.
Just in time.
Oh, no.
Oh,
I'm nervous.
This is too full.
Yeah.
As
All right.
I was fighting it to get
long as
the
there's no alcohol, I quit drinking.
Salute.
I shouldn't have smelled it first.
All I taste is tequila. Is it tequila and that mango pineapple?
Ryan knows exactly what's in the fridge, so he can just figure it out. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was so good. I could drink a glass of that for breakfast.
Yeah, it's like a margarita. It's a Mexican morning. Remember when we were in Mexico and they offered us tequila at every meal? No matter the time
Yeah,
of day.
it was a joke for sure.
Was it?
Oh, yeah. Because they're like Americans or tourists. They know that it's like cliche to drink tequila. So the waiter would always be like, tequila
Yeah.
shots
Yeah.
for breakfast. And you're like,
Do you think anybody says
Okay.
yes?
yeah.
We did not for breakfast.
You know what I saw this on Selling the OC.
Your new favorite show.
No. I haven't watched it for a while. But the guy mentioned, and I was like, I wonder if that works. He said he's like, when you wake up and you're just hungover, so you got to do a shot of vodka before breakfast to get feeling normal again. I was like, huh. Does that actually work?
Is that right?
Well, I've also heard that a hangover is your withdrawal symptom, like alcohol you withdraw from so quickly that when you get hungover, you're having withdrawal symptoms from the alcohol.
Oh, okay.
Because I have heard like, oh yeah, if you drink again, your hangover, have another beer or whatever, and then
Yeah.
But I'm like a shot of vodka in the morning.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
huh.
think.
So every day before work now.
Luckily, you don't have to travel far to go to work.
I was working with Snack Man
Oh, that's
Sweet.
right. Yeah.
at your parents.
At my parents' place. Yeah.
You should see that deck. It's real nice.
It's a good looking deck.
Oh yeah. We
Can't-
trimmed the bushes. Now it looks real big. Big deck.
Big deck. Jeez.
Yeah. Your
All right.
dad's deck is huge.
I
No, it
can't-
is nice.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
All right. Should we get into the minute?
Your mom gave me some fudge.
What? Really? She
Yeah.
didn't give me any.
Well, she was supposed to give it to her friend, but she forgot to take it along. So she gave it to us.
Do you think I was the friend that she was going to take it to?
I don't think so. But it did make me laugh. She came out and I don't know if it matters. She came out. She came out and she had an artificial flower bouquet hanging from her necklace, like
whole
a normal,
bouquet?
yeah, like a normal thin gold like chain necklace.
Okay.
but very normal, and then this bouquet hanging from it.
Okay.
I was like, "Oh, I like your flowers." She said, "Oh yeah, I was putting the flowers away, and it got tangled in there, and so Mike's coming home over lunch, and he's gonna get it out
Good
for me." So
untangle.
she's just walking around with the flowers.
There she goes.
But I thought it was funny.
It's a
She thought it
fashion
was
statement.
hilarious. So
Fashion statement.
yeah, good stuff. All right.
All
So
right, let's get into the
if
minute.
you're wondering what I did this week, that's that. Now let's watch some Fast and Furious.
Okay, this has always bothered me since this first came out. So they're talking about they blew up each other's cars back there.
I really like how they did this. I find it quite funny.
Yeah. So if you remember back to the very first The Fast and the Furious, Brian Rex. No, how does this work?
Brian offers his car in a race.
Oh, right. Brian pink
Well-
slips his car,
First,
and then
should we describe what just happened in this?
all right. So Brian and Dom.
Dom says, my car got blown up or something. And Brian said, well, yeah, you blew up my car too. Because
Right.
it was Brian's car was sitting there. I mean, he'd be dead.
Right.
But Dom did save his life.
Sure.
And by letting him not get killed by the cartel, but he did blow up Brian's car.
Right.
So Brian says, so you owe me a 10-second car, which I thought was kind of clever because that's a throwback to the first movie. And now, go ahead with what you're
So in
saying.
the first movie, Brian pink slips the Eclipse, and then the Eclipse is blown up by Johnny Snake and Snake Pants.
When they were escaping,
Yeah. Like, nice, and they blow up the Eclipse.
Right.
Someone put in the wrench time. It was an amazing machine.
right. We have
And
a
they blow
t-shirt for
that up. So then, since Dom never took the car, Brian owes Dom a 10-second car ever since then. And so now, Dom owes Brian a 10-second car because Brian had a 10-second car, but Dom blew it up.
Right.
So now Dom owes Brian one, right?
And
Because Brian paid back the 10-second car by giving Dom the Supra
at the end.
at the end of the first movie.
Yeah.
So they paid their debt, and now Dom blew up Brian's Skyline, so that was his 10-second car. So he's like, no, you owe me a 10-second car.
Yeah. And here's the irony. Like, I think we took issue originally with this because we're like, well, it was Johnny Tran that blew up Dom's car
Right.
in the first one, the one that Dom was supposed to get from Brian.
Yeah, but Dom
But it
says, I haven't taken ownership yet.
Yeah, but like it was literally because of him, and Brian was saving him from going to jail by he picked him up and helped him escape.
Right.
So it always seemed like he didn't really own that car. But likewise here, Brian wouldn't have that car anyway right now if it wasn't for Dom. Dom saved him, even though he blew up his car. as
Brian got that
collateral.
car from the police.
Yeah,
the
it
FBI.
wasn't even
Yeah.
Brian's car.
But this
So-
is what I don't like about this scene. He breaks
Alright.
the glass of a WRX.
So
this
they're
is when the hatches first came out.
they're still in the impound lot, right?
Right.
Okay, so they walk up to a WRX.
It's between a
This is after
IROC.
the bug eyes.
Yeah.
So there was the bug-eyed WRX, and then the new style came out, which had the hatchback that they like rally race and stuff.
Yeah.
This is definitely a rally-inspired WRX,
It's got the roof scoop and the hood scoop,
and
but it's got a front
it has
mount.
front mount intercooler.
So why is the hood scoop so big if it's got a front mount?
So if you're not familiar with how the WRX normally works, the intercooler for the turbo is on top of the engine. Most cars put it in the front bumper, and it cools the air down. So when a turbo pressurizes air and forces into the engine, I know you know this, I'm explaining. to
Yeah,
listeners.
that's good. Yeah.
It gets hot. So you put an intercooler to cool that air down, and then you can add more fuel to it, which makes your car faster. If you don't add fuel, bad things can happen to your engine. So the WRX, though, for space and rally reasons, Ryan's double fisting the beers right now. He's got a Coors Light in one. Oh, you taste testing them. Coors Light in one hand, Corona in the other. Can you tell the difference?
I can
I'll
tell.
try this.
I can tell a difference. I don't know which one I like more.
The Corona's colder.
Yeah, the Corona. It just tastes like family. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's the glass bottle. So, because when you're rally racing, you get a lot of rocks and stuff getting thrown up at you, WRX is like, let's put the intercooler on top of the engine.
Oh, is that why they did it?
So, how do we get, and you don't have as much boost lag because now you don't need to run a tube the whole way to
Right.
the front of the bumper and then back up. It's straight out of the turbo into the intercooler and right down into your intake manifold. So, normally that air has to travel through all that. And so that half a second it takes to travel is a half a second before you have power when you hit the gas. So, all that to be said, the intercooler is normally on top, and then guys put big hood scoops on to help more air go in.
Well, and when they get bigger intercoolers, they
Right,
need more
you need
air.
a bigger hood scoop. Yeah, so this WRX has a big hood scoop, but you can see it has a big front mount in the bumper.
Right.
So some guys do, you're still limited on space on top of your engine. So some guys will still go to a front mount intercooler to get a really big intercooler if you're running a big turbo.
It's definitely a worked WRX.
It's got a lot of work.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you don't need
STI,
the
I
hood
guess.
scoop at all. There's no function.
STI is the step above WRX, right?
Yes.
Is
I'm trying to
STI a engine upgrade or just a trim upgrade?
No, they're faster. Yep.
Okay.
I think they have a bigger turbo, maybe even a bigger engine, depending on the year. Like
Okay.
a 2.4 instead of a 2.2. I don't know
Because
my
it's like
Subaru,
Subaru,
as well.
then Impreza, then WRX, then STI. Like an STI
Yes.
is a WRX.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're all Imprezas.
Right, and they're all Imprezas.
Impreza's the base model all-wheel drive car,
Right.
sporty car.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got it. But this one has a roll cage even. So they're
Oh,
lucky
yeah.
this was in there. And
But by no means would I call this a 10-second car.
yeah, it could be.
It's
There's no
just
way to
kind of like,
know,
well,
but
this is a fast car.
it's a little ricey too. Like the hood being that big of a hood scoop and the hood vents and it has a front mount. I'm like a little
And hood
ricey.
pins? Is that what this is here?
Yeah, hood pins. But when you get a roll cage, now I don't know.
But when you're between an IROC Z28 Camaro and a GMC Jimmy on the other side, like, are you really going to pick the
Is that a
Impreza?
Jimmy?
I think that's what it
And
is.
it's like lowered. It's lower. Like the hood, the
It's-
roof is lower than the WRX roof.
isn't that what it looks like?
Yeah.
It's like a S10 Jimmy
Or a
or whatever they
Blazer.
were. Blazer,
Oh, wait,
S10
the-
Blazer. Yeah.
Is the
GMC Jimmy S10 Blazer.
okay?
Or Chevy Blazer. Sorry.
So, but that IROC Z was probably a 15-second quarter-mile car from the factory, maybe 16-second.
Yeah, if it even ran.
And that WRX out of the factory was probably, an STI was probably a 12-second.
Really?
Yeah. So you have all-wheel drive. It helps you a lot to launch.
Hmm.
And yeah, they made decent power. So I think with a little bit of work, it probably wouldn't be that hard to get into the 10s.
Hmm. What is the point that you require a roll cage to drag race?
I
Like
think
there's a time limit, right? Like if you're under this
yeah.
fast, you have to have a roll
I
cage.
think it's under 10 seconds.
Okay.
I don't know. It depends on the track. It might be under 11. So under 13, you need a helmet.
Okay.
At the track I went at, I only went one time.
At a drag strip or at
Yeah.
a Okay.
I went to a drag strip one time with my car, and I took a helmet, but I only ever ran a 13.1.
On which car was that?
My 240SX
Oh, really?
with the SR. Yeah, but it was an open diff. I had terrible. My 60-foot times were like 2.6 seconds, which is dreadful.
Oh, okay.
But I only had one tire pushing me.
Right,
You know?
right, yeah.
That's the problem. It wasn't the driver at all.
Yeah. Did you have trans brake on it? You need a trans brake. Oh wait, that's only for
It was a manual.
automatics.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my.
Good times.
So they break the window of the Subaru.
Dom walks up, breaks the window.
It would
With
have
his
been
elbow.
It would have been a great callback if Brian would have tried the handle and it was open. Right?
Yeah.
Put your blouse back on.
Isn't it nearly impossible to break a window like that, though?
Yeah, do you remember that video of that guy with like a hammer trying to break the
Yeah.
glass?
And
Yeah.
Dom just elbowed it.
Well, that's why they have those little tools in case you
Yeah.
get locked in your car. It's got like a
I use that
seatbelt
all
cutter.
the time. Yeah.
You don't need it till you need it, man.
That's right.
Then you wish you had it. But like the window breaker is like a pinpoint, like it's like very pointy, and that is supposed to break the window.
So, like, a ball bearing would work because it's the roundness.
Yeah.
You can throw a ball bearing. I've also seen if you take a spark plug and you break the ceramic, that little white ceramic part in the spark plug,
Okay. Yeah.
you break that out of it, you can throw that little piece. Because what you need is that concentrated pressure.
Right.
So if you throw that out the window, it'll break it.
Huh.
But you can hit it with the blunt end of a sledgehammer, apparently, and it won't break. I mean, you got to hit it really hard.
Or a slightly injured elbow will be okay as well.
Yeah. Elon Musk did it with a ball bearing, right?
Right. But did you hear about that?
No. Was it
So that's the one where they were. So I saw him on Joe Rogan talking about. Joe Rogan's like, how annoying was it that window broke when you threw that ball through it? They're like, how many times did you throw that ball at? He said, before we went on stage, we threw that same ball at the window over 50 times, and it didn't break. But on stage, they took a sledgehammer to the door panel a bunch of times, and they think that's what fractured the glass
Yeah.
partially. And then when they threw the metal ball at it, it broke the glass because it's supposed to be indestructible glass. And he throws his ball and it just shatters. So
Oh, man.
it was good to see
remember that.
candid Elon sharing about how that's your nightmare, right? You're showing
Right.
this off to everybody, and
And you're bragging about it, and then
Right.
it doesn't work.
Did that truck ever come to like that was the Cybertruck, right?
Apparently,
Did it sell?
yeah, people pre-ordered them like crazy, and I've seen a couple things with them being on the road.
Oh, okay.
I think, like most Teslas, the production is behind.
Yeah.
But I've seen some pictures of them, so I don't know if they're still like prototypes that are out driving around or what. But
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke.
Because how ugly it was.
Yeah, if you saw the original pictures of the Cybertruck prototype, it looked pretty cool.
Okay.
But the one that came out when they revealed it, I was like, "This is a joke."
Well, it's
I
like
literally thought it was a joke.
we're making this to look future. It's so ugly that it's futuristic.
It's
You
like
know what I mean? It's like
what the '70s thought the future would
right.
look like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
But it's something to do with the panels because the way they had to form them because
Oh,
they're so
really?
hard.
Wait,
You
was it
can
the
only, like, bend
Cybertruck
it.
or was it the semi? Because they made like a semi too that was all electric.
Yeah, that's different.
Okay.
I mean what are you asking?
The ball through the window
Yeah,
was the
that's the
Cybertruck.
Cybertruck,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so he busts the window with his elbow and reaches in, unlocks it, opens the door, and he says, "Now we're even." So he just got Brian his 10-second car, and Brian smirks because he knows, like, all right. I like that
And
Brian's
it's an
like,
import. So
Brian's like, okay, I'll take it.
yeah.
Like, how did they
Where
get
were the keys?
out?
Where were the keys?
There's literally a
Yeah,
security
true,
guard at the
true.
front. He's like, "Hey, we're just taking this."
502 wet reckless. We're
Yeah.
gonna need this on a 24-hour.
This guy's
On
still
hold.
with me.
It's a swap. We're swapping.
Yeah.
Why is the floor wet? Oh my goodness, Corona all over the floor.
Oh, yeah, from opening those bottles.
Yeah.
All right, scene change.
Yeah.
We're at somebody's little trailer park here, and there's a oil pump, really going to town.
Yeah.
That's funny. Like, who would build a house right next to that?
This is like a shack, right? This is like is it even a trailer? Like
I
it might
don't
be
know.
like an actual trailer. It looks like a pod. You know, like a small
Oh,
sea
sea
container
container.
with a door on it.
Yeah, so we see the Subaru that Brian just took ownership of parked there, and a beautiful black Acura NSX pulls up and parks behind it.
Yeah.
And who do you think is driving that? You actually guessed this.
Mia. I don't know. I don't know why I remembered that was her.
Yeah, what a great car. Man.
NSXs.
Yeah.
We
But
saw a
they
couple
are
of Fuel Fest.
so valuable now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
How valuable is valuable? How much are they? 40?
About 100.
No,
Agreed.
really?
I bet. Should we look one up?
Yeah, look one up.
All right. You describe what's happening here.
All right.
I'll look up at NSX.
Mia says this line, which is kind of confusing. Is this your way of keeping me from him? Is what she says, which I don't really understand that. I'm not
Does-
sure.
Yeah, Brian answers the door.
Right. And Mia's there.
So all right, so here's a 97 NSX with 83,000 miles on it for $78,000.
What year was it? 90.
97. Here's a 91 for 79,000. Here's a 2005 for 165,000. Only has 30,000 miles. The 2017, that's the new one. Here's a 95 with 5,000 miles for 117,000.
Yeah. Well, what did they come out new?
That's a good question too.
I'll keep describing. So Brian says to Mia, I didn't know who else to call. And Mia's like, of course. Because last time I think Brian and Mia were together, it wasn't a happy conversation. Because of the previous interaction. So Mia's taking the bandage off of Dom's shoulder
Oh wow.
and says the bullet isn't there.
They were 81,000 brand new in 1995. That's a lot
That is a lot
for a two-seater car in 95.
for a 2-seater. Are they 6-cylinder?
Yeah.
3 5s? What did Honda
Yeah,
have?
like 280 horsepower.
It just looks so nice, though.
Beautiful. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's not like the Supra of that year was worth, I think they were like 32,000 brand new,
Right.
which was a lot for a car back then, but 81. I guess it was an Acura.
Yeah, but you look at an
Rear
Acura
engine.
NSX next to a Supra. The NSX looks like
Yeah.
all stock. The Supra or the NSX looks so much
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
So much better.
Yeah, rear engine and great, just beautiful car.
Yeah.
It's like, looks like an exotic.
Yes. Yeah. For sure.
All right. Sorry. My shoes are
Squeaky-
wet because there's beer on
Oh, I
the
thought you
floor.
need a squeaky. I thought you had a squeaky chair. We should upgrade that for you.
Yeah.
But that is the end of minute 68. So somehow, just by looking at the wound, not even like digging into it, Mia can tell the bullet's not there.
Well, if there's 2 holes, right?
Right. If there's a exit wound,
Yeah.
then the
What
bullet.
about fragments, though?
Yeah, it could be somewhere in his shoulder though. It didn't come out the front.
Was she like a nurse? Or he's like, just call a woman. She'll know what to do.
I don't know. She's a healer.
Yeah. And she also made that weird comment we're not sure about yet, which was, is this your way of keeping me away from him? Like, what? He
Be-
literally called her to
Right.
come.
Because he
Strange.
didn't take her because he didn't take Dom to their house. Obviously they couldn't go back to their house. The police
Right.
are there. FBI are
And-
there.
I don't understand why they're still being so rude to Brian after what he doesn't. He's putting a lot on the line right now to do this.
Oh yeah.
He could have left without Dom. He wouldn't. He could have ditched Dom right when they got back.
Right.
He's
I mean-
hiding $60 million of coke with Dom.
He
And
waited
Dom's like, "Ugh,
a good
Brian, traitor."
10, 15 seconds in the car screaming, Dom, let's go, while Dom is punching some guy in the face.
Right.
So he could have left easily without Dom.
Hmm.
I
All
don't
right.
know. Do you think Mia and Brian will heal their relationship during this next minute?
Not the next minute.
Maybe the one after.
She's got to get a little off her chest, I think.
like her shirt.
No. Like
Oh,
anger build
okay,
up.
Okay.
She's
okay.
gonna go on a rant, and then they're gonna make out.
That's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
I will never
what you
forget
do?
when we did that first movie and she sees Brian coming up to her house for the first time and she's like dressed in like these ratty clothes and she takes her shirt off and like throws it at the camera and you can like see her back and like the side of her, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, are we allowed to show this? And you said, everyone has a back. It just made me laugh and I think about
I
it.
don't remember
sometimes.
that.
Yeah.
but it's true.
It does. Yeah. Everybody does have a back. So but that's where we're going to stop today. I think we'll stop there. It feels like a good stopping point. So
Yeah.
thanks everyone for listening. Don't forget to sign for the Patreon for your free
Yeah.
Smoke 'em t-shirt.
Got to do it before the end of November 2023, and you get a free Smoke 'em t-shirt.
Yeah.
No strings attached. We pay shipping, everything. We ship it to you.
Yeah.
I mean, the only string is you have to sign up for our Patreon,
Right.
which
It's a small string.
which costs money.
Right.
It's $3. Basically, you get
Yeah.
a t-shirt for $3. Or you can sign up for one of the higher tiers and get the extra benefits.
Yeah.
Plus, you get entered into all of our giveaways and whatnot. So
Yeah.
do it. You
It
won't
pays
regret it.
To Patreon.
And if you really don't want to do it, still come and comment on our socials because we want to know who you are.
Yeah, we sure do.
And then we can really call you out on the podcast, give you a hard time for not being a patron,
Right. Like
embarrass you.
Yoda Rican.
Yeah, Yoda Rican,
We
come
haven't heard
on,
from
man.
you in a while. He's actually the
Yeah.
one. He said something about he messaged us on Facebook and said something about how we don't have any Supra shirts. And that's where this
Oh,
whole
I
thing
know,
started with the
do
Smoke 'em.
we really not have a Supra, like the original Supra on anything? We have it
Yeah.
on a mug,
Yeah. The
The
livery.
decal.
Yeah.
but yeah. Now we got
So-
it on a shirt.
You're welcome, Yoda Rican.
He probably bought it already.
You probably bought a baker's dozen.
He has most of our shirts. I feel
Yeah,
like.
he does. Yeah. Anyways, thanks
He's not
everyone
a
for
patron.
listening. I'm Ryan.
I'm Jason.
And always remember,
Winning's winning.